Hello once again, it's Michael Heppel here with Charlie Smith, a singer-songwriter from Hampshire. Recently, Charlie, you have released your new EP, I Hate It, I Own It. What has the reaction been like so far?
Well, for a start, I think it was quite good with everyone who was already familiar with my work, which, to be honest, isn't that many people, but more family, friends, some people that I've met. But at first it was a little bit slow, I'll be honest with you, but I didn't really promote it properly. But I think now it's kind of picking up because obviously I've been trying to get on some more Spotify playlists and that, and I think from there it's actually grown quite a bit. So I would say it started pretty slow, but now, having been sort of a month in now, it's actually gone really well. And I think I looked the other day, or I had this email from Spotify saying it had to about 3,000 views or something coming up to that. So, well, plays, not views, but so I'm quite happy with that. The first week was only 300, but now obviously it's grown quite a lot, so I'm happy with that.
That's cool. So what is the story behind the EP?
Well, the story was a bit of a breakup story. I just sort of, my girlfriend sort of left me, so I just sort of recorded it in 2 days and just went with it. I didn't really think too much about it. I thought I might as well do some music, so I just did it, basically.
Yeah, that's a sad way that's sad, but I suppose at least something good's come out of it.
Yeah, definitely. I think I didn't want to think about it too much or really even think about the lyrics or anything, just sort of do it, just sort of, go for it.
Yeah, of course, mate. So where did it all begin for you?
Well, I used to play in a band. I guess probably before that, I was probably at school, really. I like music outside of school, but I was in a band at school with some good mates, and they were much better than me, really, because I didn't really play until I was about 16 or so I was never really that good, but, I sort of learned from them quite a lot, and then after that, I joined, after college and everything, joined a band, punk band. We had a little bit of success, but unfortunately that didn't really go too well. So basically in lockdown, I decided just to do my own stuff, just to really just go for it and see, because I knew we were going to be locked down, and luckily I had this old tape recorder, so I thought, well, why not put it online? Because if I'm not doing that, I'll just be wasting my time, really.
Yeah, too right, mate. So talk to me about your charity single in there. Where did the idea come from?
So basically, the charity, well, it's a kind of a bad thing happened as well just after breakup with my girlfriend. Is my mate who I'd been in the first band with, really, he moved away. So we did speak, but I hadn't seen him in a while. And unfortunately, he passed away from COVID because he lived in Sweden. And, it really just came from that, just to try and raise some funds. Sort of just wanted to sort of, again, just go for it, write some things down on paper, and just really, I haven't promoted it so much, but I feel, I just wanted to go for it again.
Yeah, that's fair enough. If you don't mind us asking, Charlie, how much have you raised so far on that charity single?
Well, I haven't raised so much so far because this is sort of a song. I just put it really on Facebook, but I think it was, if I remember rightly, about £60, I think, so
bad.
far, which is, no, it's not bad. And that wasn't recorded in the studio. That was me just playing with a sort of a camcorder. So my plan was always what I'm trying to be doing, but obviously with COVID and that was to try and just get it recorded and do it properly. But, so far I've just sort of advertised it from recording from just a camera, really.
Yeah. So can people still contribute to help raise as much funds as possible?
Well, what I plan to sort of do with it is actually get it recorded properly.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to do the video again because obviously with this sort of thing, I wanted to raise funds, but it was kind of quite a personal thing, as I think you can understand. So what I do plan to do, hopefully soon, is actually, because I only really released it I didn't really share it around. I didn't put it but I do plan to record it properly when I can and share it to my actual music page, not just my personal page, really, and sort of try and contact a few places maybe and put it more that way. But it's just for the COVID-19 relief in this country. Charities Together, I think it's called.
Yeah, that's fair enough, mate. So what have you achieved as an artist so far?
Well, I think probably that was the best thing I've done to raise. I mean, it's only 60 quid, but I thought still that's quite decent. I think probably other than that, to be honest, as an artist, yeah, I think probably just from a personal point of view, just to kind of gain more confidence. I guess I was always kind of shy, so I feel probably the best thing is actually just for myself to just gain more confidence and go with things. I think also something I wouldn't mind mentioning now, what I'm working on is also doing some sort of like pre-recorded but sort of gigs with other artists.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably going to be the thing I'm most proud of, because I've actually managed to, go out and find some really good artists and hopefully be able to give them a good platform for my music page and everything to do sort of an online gig. Actually help other people out, other artists, hopefully.
Yeah, that sounds really good, mate. So how has COVID-19 affected your music, and in your opinion as well, what could be done to get performers back on stage?
Well, I think for me, probably actually maybe a good thing. I mean, it's obviously a terrible, terrible thing, and, you wouldn't wish it or anything, but for me, it has given me this sort of confidence to just go with it. I mean, I can't, if you ever said to me at the start of the year, wow, you actually singing and playing guitar and actually thousands of people will listen to your stuff, I mean, I probably would have gone, wow, that's pretty crazy. But, it has been tough because I would love to just play in a band. I don't actually really like doing stuff by myself. I mean, I don't mind. I have enjoyed it to a certain extent, but, I guess the ultimate thing is to play in a band. And it's, I used to do it before with my friend as well. It's just play like open mic nights and that sort of thing. I love just, hearing other acts, just, not too much, just hearing 3 or 4 songs and you get like a really good idea of what they can do. And it's, it's quite easy to perform. You don't have to think too much about it. What the government could do is, honestly, I have a few ideas, but I think probably they've got to really look at what they want to achieve, really. Do they, if they really want to kill the music industry, they're doing quite a good job. But, I don't think people would want that. I think people are quite angry about that. I mean, really, what they could do is just, encourage smaller venues to be much safer. And get the bigger venues open, but just the smaller capacities, because they're saying, I think even now musicians, if they said you can play in front of 20 people, I think they'd probably take that, rather than just like, well, I don't know about the whole country, but around here, there's pretty much nothing. Most things just get cancelled, and it's just very unclear. So I think if they were just more clear in saying, right, you can only do it in a limited way, but at least that would be consistent rather than now than, stuff just getting cancelled. I mean, I've personally tried to look for gigs, but I thought, is it worth the effort with all the rules changes? I'm not so sure. I'm sure I probably could have done some little things in that, but it's just a risk. It does take more effort than people think to get the gigs. So, if they were just more consistent and, even if it was in a limited way, because I think the recent thing was they shut, we can only be till 10 p.m. now. Of course, what if you were banned and you were booked in at 11 or 12 to come on? And that's not unknown. And suddenly, do you start it early and just becomes a bit of a mess. Where if they had said that much earlier, everything could have started around 3 or 4 or whatever, and it could be done right, not just throwing a lot of gigs into a bit of chaos,
That's very, very true, Charlie. That is very true indeed. Is there any plans for the future then?
Well, I would hope that I do actually form my own band. I'm really COVID dependent. Really, it's just get back out there. I mean, I'd love to play live with the band. I think that's probably the goal. And also to probably just get this single better recorded, and but also more charity work as well, because, you know, with Facebook and everything now, okay, it's not a gig, but there's still a lot of opportunity to do more charity work, you know, do the odd charity live stream or something like that. And I think that could be a great thing looking short term. But longer term, hopefully I could find really my own band to play with and do live gigs, really. That's the...
Indeed, indeed. And who are you actually influenced by, Charlie?
Well, a lot of people, a lot of 90s music, but also probably actually more classic people, you know, like Bob Dylan, sort of bands like the Kinks, maybe the Beatles, but more John Lennon, that sort of thing. And then probably 90s music, Smashing Pumpkins, all of that sort of stuff.
No worries as well. And any social media that you'd like to advertise as well?
Yeah, well, you can find sort of my Facebook is under Charlie Smith, under my own name, but it might come up, the username might be Charlie Smith Music, so it's at Charlie Smith Music, but the page name is called Charlie Smith, and my Instagram is Charlie_Smith_music.
There you go. And is there anything else that you'd like to mention that I haven't covered?
No, thanks for having me on. This has actually been a really good thing, because I think, you know, sometimes it's quite nice to talk about stuff that you've got coming up, because, you know, it's nice for actually people to listen, really, and you can really tell people, because it's when you do something like that, you kind of get a bit proud of it, and you just want to scream about it, really, and say, well, I'm doing this. But
that's no worries at all, Charlie. Thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure having you on, and I hope to speak to you again soon.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
No problem at all.